Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here, and today, guys, I'm here with another Total War Warhammer live battlecast. I actually meant to have this game be casted from the lobby, but I actually forgot to turn my microphone on, so unfortunately, you guys are going to have to join me from here. I tend to do that a lot. It's definitely very frustrating, but it's okay, guys. Hopefully you can all forgive me. So, I'll go ahead and deploy my army here, and then, as soon as we take care of that, I am facing off against the Beastmen, for anyone that is wondering, so definitely going to be a good time for all. Probably going to see some Warcur and some other funny business coming from those guys. So, against the Beastmen, Savage Orcs are going to be really good. They can trade pretty effectively with Gore Herds, as they do have that not 50% resistance, but 30% resistance. The Frenzy mechanic is pretty good as well. Gives them the 12% weapon damage, immunity to psychology, which if they have like Gore Bulls or things like that, I haven't been seeing as many Gore Bulls lately, but still, I feel like they're a really well-rounded pick against the Beastmen. The one thing they will struggle against is Bestigor Herds, but just in case he brought some Bestigor Herds, I do have two groups of Black Orcs kind of mixed in my front line, and that gives you quite a bit of sustainability, because again, Black Orcs actually have 70 leadership compared to the 58 of the Savage Orcs, and they're also immune to psychology, so most of my front line is going to be pretty resilient against like monstrous threats. Aside from that, we do have our Rusty Air firing line, and we're going to put a group of Nasty Skulkers back here. So what I really like to do is I have Wurzog and kind of the spiders back here, or excuse me, the Night Goblin, not Night Goblins, Goblin Big Bosses. So I have them back here, and if he like pushes through with a Gore Bull or some Centaurs kind of get back there, you then use the Smoke Bomb ability, which snares them by 76% and allows a lot of your other units to catch up and just really do some serious work for you. So we're also going to keep some Savage Orcs in auxiliary back here, just kind of plug them in wherever we're having problems, and then we also are going to keep some Night Goblins back here. It's 8 Peak Loonies. I really like them against Beastmen. Granted, the Armor Sundering variant, I guess it's a different unit, but these are the Night Goblin Fanatics. But the Armor Sundering ones are quite good as well, but against the Beastmen, I feel like the Poison's really good. They have 36 melee attack, which isn't bad at all. Just a very good, well-rounded unit, and their ability, the Loons of the 8 Peaks, is actually pretty fun. I'm pretty terrible with it myself, but I've seen it be used successfully in other people's replays, so yeah, hopefully I can emulate some of that success. So we also did bring a Hammer of Gork. It's just I like it. It's a good, well-rounded unit, and I just like to have some siege, and I know it's already very cheap, so I figure I can get away with it and get some good value. So let's go ahead and put these Goblin Wolfriders in group 3, and sometimes the Beastmen will bring like Ungor Raiders or units like that, so it's pretty nice to just have those as like a toolbox unit to kind of chase them down and hopefully generate some value. So let's get right to the business, guys. He actually did deploy over here, so it looks like he does have some units over there. So we're going to pull these guys back right away. We're going to start advancing over here. And the Hammer of Gork, we want to just start probably just honestly shooting at Gore Herds. So this is actually going to be interesting. So he brought Razor Gore Herds, which actually aren't a bad pick. They're going to do a really good job, like running over Black Orcs and things like that. And you can see not my Night Goblins, but my Goblin Wolfriders are having to scurry away from these Centaurs ASAP. So we're going to scurry over here and see if we can use them to like muck down these Razor Gore Herds. I think that's going to be a really good use. And I really wish FG to get like started active. Man, that would be so incredibly strong if I could like start doing that right now. So we're going to keep marching here. Unfortunately, I need to probably leave something to like protect this. So let's actually leave some Savage Orcs. We'll put them in group 4 and like have them stay with that siege piece there. And let's get these Goblin Wolfriders back in action. We're just going to kind of posture up right here and just wait for my opponent. Great. So I do have the Savage Orcs. They'll do a pretty good job defending this guy. We do have Wurzog. Let's go ahead and pull him up a little bit closer to the front line. And we do have the Nasty Skulkers there, so if he decides to get a little bit crazy, we should be okay. So the Goblin Wolfriders, we're actually going to use the intercept those Razor Gore Herds, and then we're probably going to pull the Goblin Big Bosses over as well. So you see, he's kind of thinking if he wants to come in here, and we are going to intercept with those Goblin Wolfriders, and that should be a really good situation for us. So yeah, they're going to get poisoned, and again, I do have the much faster units here. So Wurzog, we're actually going to kind of put him in group 1 and keep him with the main army, and just let these guys intercept here. We can also, do we want to pull some Savage Orcs? I don't know if that's a good idea, but anyways, yeah. So we just got to get ready to fight now. So we want to get our missiles, and probably just have them honestly start shooting at these Bestigor Herds, which is going to be great. So we do get a little ahead of ourselves there, so we're going to go ahead and pull back and just deploy some Savage Orcs to kind of intercept, but we're able to kind of mitigate that threat, which is quite nice. Now we're going to start getting some good focus fire, and let's go ahead and get this front line engaged like so, and yeah, so far so good, guys. So Wurzog, we want to like keep him like kind of up and in that area, just so he gets the War Paint effect. We do have these Savage Orcs kind of helping out over here as well, and the Goblin Wolfriders we can also use, and having the Goblin Big Bosses there is going to be quite good as well. So we're going to go ahead and use the buff right there. He does have some Ungor Raiders actually, so let's go ahead and see. It looks like he's trying to think if he wants to come in here, so we're going to go ahead and just put these Savage Orcs right here, and these Night Goblins. Let's actually, let's just do this for fun. Let's throw the loonies and see if we can get them there. So we throw the loonies in there, and things look to be going pretty good, guys. So let's go ahead and use the wall. I think the frontline engagement's going pretty good. We do have these Nasty Skulkers here to intercept those Cav over there. This fight's a little bit wild, but I'd say it went pretty well. We were able to kind of rout off those Bestigor Herds, and you can see that Goblin firing line is very strong. So he's coming in here. We do have these Nasty Skulkers and Wurzog as well. So we're actually going to use Effigy of Degit on this one, on this group right here, and then pull these guys back, and that'll allow like a lot of our poison units. And let's actually pull a group from the front line and just have them turn around and engage, and so far so good. So we're also going to use the smoke bomb to snare this other group, and Wurzog's able to kind of get those goblins out, so that's a really, really good situation for us. And you can see he landed the harpies back here, but we did have that really like strong defensive contingent. And FG of Degit doing a great job. Like a lot of times people instinctively are like, yeah, I should probably always use it on the enemy lords. But sometimes it's really good versus like Cav and units like that, because we're able to just get these guys for free essentially, which is really, really nice. So I do have a Foot of Gork. I'm probably not going to use it right now. We're just going to kind of keep Wurzog lurking nearby, and let's go ahead and get these Savage Orcs re-engaged from the front line. And man, they did a really good job kind of peeling back there. So let's get our Goblin firing line here. It looks like he does use a Pit of Shade, so definitely some fancy business. And we're going to keep these Savage Orcs back here and switch the Hammer of Gork onto that unit right there. So far so good. Over here in the wings, the Savage Orcs are performing pretty well against the Gore Herds. Let's go ahead and get these Black Orcs a little more engaged here. And the Nasty Skulker is also doing a pretty good job kind of snaring things down. So let's go ahead and use an Ere We Go in the front line, which is going to buff up those Black Orcs, who again are fighting a pretty pitched battle over there. And we do have a Foot of Gork. I would love to use it somewhere, but I don't think honestly there's any targets that are really worth it. And let's make sure this Goblin Big Boss is pushing here, and we probably want to pull these Black Orcs back here as well, because you don't really need them fighting spears. And again, he's really trying to go after this Hammer of Gork, and it's not quite working out, because again, the Savage Orcs are doing really, really good job defending that. And as far as missiles go, we can probably turn them around, and let's see if, yeah, there's some spears over here we can start shooting at. These Goblin Wolf Riders we can kind of pull up and around here, and Big Papa Wurzog, I'm not sure what he's chasing. Oh, I think we were pathing after those Centaurs a little bit too aggressively, but that's a-okay, boys. The Savage Orcs back here just defending this thing tooth and nail. So let's go ahead and get them here, get Wurzog back to the front line, and let's see where we're fighting in the front, like very, very heavily. So we do have some Black Orcs here fighting, so we're going to go ahead and give them the Fist of Gork, which is going to be a pretty nice little buff here. We'll get these Angry Goblins right here going after these guys, and we're going to pull the Black Orcs back to the front line, and we're going to take Wurzog over there as well. So these guys, the Fanatics here, they're so incredibly cool. Let's go ahead and throw some more loonies just for fun and see if we can hit anything. So I think we actually casted it a little bit too far ahead, but we're going to go ahead and use the Waaagh here, and it looks like that is all she wrote for the Beastmen. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the breakdown screen, guys, and we can see what worked and what didn't. So honestly, big performers this game were the Savage Orcs. These guys were just absolute beasts. The melee defense definitely helps them to outclass the Gore Herds, and they'll just trade so much more effectively, and you're just going to get, I mean, they're investing, you know, relatively speaking, an equivocal amount, if not more, and you're just going to get so many kills per, you know, capita there that it's going to be pretty hard to lose that frontline matchup. On top of that, the Black Orcs are pretty great performers. They were able to shut down that Best-Score herd and really just, you know, add that sustainability. Because again, he didn't have a lot of AP in his front line, and the AP that he did bring, the Best-Scores, got focused down horribly by the Rusty Errors and those missiles. Then also the Razor Gores, which was his other answer to my Black Orcs, essentially just got routed off by Goblin Big Bosses and also some Goblin Wolf Riders, who did a really, really good job there. So, and you guys see that the Nasty Skulkers and the Eight-Peak Loonies, pretty good backline troops. Like the Nasty Skulkers, you use them to slow, and then with the FG of Degit, we were able to lock down those Centaurs and just essentially crush the value that they could have generated. And the Savage Orcs again did a pretty good job defending the artillery piece in the back, so just good performance all the way around. So for his army, what I would have liked to have seen is, you know, he put a lot of marbles in that kind of light, high damage, light, you know, non-armor piercing units. I would have liked to see a bit of a mixture in terms of the Gore Herds and the Best-Scores. I think if he had mixed in like maybe like half and half, even though it would be a smaller unit, just or a smaller army overall, I think that would have been just incredibly stronger. Because again, a line of Best-Scores, we didn't really get to see the performance of these Best-Scores. They got stuck by, you know, taken down by Rusty Errors and just routed off very quickly. But if he had had a bunch of them, I think they would have done a really good job against the Savage Orcs, who don't do terribly well against armor. On top of that, I like the Ungor Raiders. It's nice having that utility, and they can kind of poke away at the Goblin Archers. Centaurs, I always get the double Centaurs. Probably would have liked to see some Poison Warhounds. Like if he maybe had the Razor Gore Herds can work against Greenskins, but still, I really would have liked to see some Poison Warhounds just to kind of like come around and pressure my Archers, and they're really good for chasing like routing Greenskin units. So that would have been my 2 cents. But anyways, well played to my friend Bear over here. I've never played the guy, but just kind of an expression as it is. But very well played, Bear. Look forward to seeing you again on Ladder, and I hope you guys enjoyed that Greenskin cast. Have an excellent night, and take care.